Hello everyone, we are Group 2 and we have conducted extensive research under the topic of discrimination against women based on court judgment in Thailand. And after complete our research, we would like to hear opinions from our fellow colleagues on this topic, whether they agree or disagree and if they have encountered any issue. The specific subtopic we have identified for discussion are consensual sex, family law related matters, and self-defense. We invited them to share their thought and perspective on this issue. So, let's explore this together.
So the first question, do you think there's a discrimination against women in court judgment?
In general, I feel that if it in the previous the very old court approach, I feel that there's a lot of discrimination and the court have approach on patriarchy since the man is he has a big role in the family. However, I think in the modern approach, sometimes the society might think that it's still discriminate, but I think it's much better than before.
So I also want to ask, in your opinion, what can be considered as rape?
I think in the criminal code, the rape means that the offenders, the perpetrator, penetrate the other party organ, either with mouth or the sexual organs.
For the first question, do you think there is a discrimination against women in court judgment?
I think it's possible. It's not only because of the court judgment itself, but also I think sometimes it's because of the law. Sometimes it was written in favor of the man. So I think it's possible that the court might adopt some ideas or concept from it.
So in your opinion, what can be considered as rape?
For me, it's penetrating to another person's genital, and also including the using of fingers and orals without consent.
Okay, so what is your opinion toward this court reasoning? If a woman has a wound, it means that she was suckling again for sex.
I think wound can be one of the elements, but I don't think it's the most necessary one, as I don't think if the woman has no wound, it means that she wasn't struggle or something like that.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. So in earlier court decision, the court ruled that rape included penetrating genital into another person's genital, but in the latest decision, the court focused on sperm more than penetration. What is your opinion on this chain of decision?
I disagree, since I think what we need to focus is how this action affect on the victim, and even though there's no sperm, it creates a really bad effect on the victim.
Okay, so the last question, have you ever experienced discrimination against women in Thailand?
For me personally, no, but I've seen women talk about this, not only the court judgment thing, but also the workplace or the salary or something like this.
Okay, so thank you, Kiani, for sharing your opinion with us.
Okay, for the first question, in your opinion, do you find it reasonable for a man to kill his wife and the adulterer if the husband saw his wife having sexual intercourse with another man?
So that's a self-defense case. I think there's a Supreme Court decision on this, right? Whereby I think the man walked in on his wife having sex with another man and decided to shoot them. I remember that the Supreme Court ordered that it was reasonable, but in this case, the dignity of the spouse, I would say, is a big factor. But the response must be necessary and proportionate, right? However, with regards to proportionality, it is really about the ends, the means to the ends, or more likely the effects, right? So, for example, if someone tried to kill you, you can use deadly force to do self-defense. In this case, we need to determine, right, whether adultery is life-threatening or not, or how much damage to the reputation does it do. I think it would be disproportionate, me personally speaking, but I can totally understand why the court argued that it was proportionate back then. But I don't think it is proportionate. I don't think in terms of the way to deal with adultery in that case, let's say that you see your wife having sex with another man, I think you can remove the man, just push him out of your house. But I think killing both, I think that case was also both the spouse and the man, right? I think that's a little too high.
Have you heard of battered woman syndrome?
Can you please describe it to me?
I would like to say that it is like a kind of relationship that a woman is like abused by the man for a long time, and then one day she then can't resist it anymore. So she then kill the man.
Right.
Do you think those women should be accused of murder?
Oh, that's tough, right? So our laws have three things, right? We have elements of a crime, justification, and excuse. Now, obviously, it's going to be 288, it's going to be murder, but let's see if there's any justification. So let's say that the man was actively beating the wife and then she retaliated. That would be self-defense, right? Because it's lawful imminent danger. But let's look at the worst case scenario. Let's say that the husband was sleeping, but then through years of abuse, the wife, can't control it anymore, just kill the husband. So self-defense would not be applied. Should the woman be charged with murder? Depends on what charge means, right? Because excuse doesn't necessarily justify the crime. So would she be guilty of murder, sorry? I think she would, but I do not think that she should be punished, right? So it's an excuse. However, it's a really sad situation because I think a lot of women do not like to, talk to the authorities about this. This is a public. A lot of authorities like to claim it as a private issue. I think it's very unfortunate. I think that we should take this a lot more seriously because, if you keep it, obviously, if a woman were to try to fight back against the man, that'd probably be a bad idea. I mean, for example, I'm like twice your size, right? So that might not be a good idea.
So the first question is that, what do you think about discrimination against women based on Thai court decision?
I think that it was based on the whole concept of the society that the man has to be the leader of everything, and decision was biased to that opinion too, which is wrong in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, that was a very interesting answer. So because you have studied family law so far, under the section 1523 of the Civil and Commercial Code, it stipulates that for the wife to claim compensation from the adulterer must clearly show the adulterous relationship with the husband, but this requirement was not stated for the husband. So what do you think about this?
I think it's unfair. It should be the same for husband and wife. The method of showing it doesn't make sense because adultery is not usually showing. People usually hide.
Okay, so thank you to my friend Dome.
Family law is one of the most essential chapters under the Thai Civil Code, as it is the law that governs the fundamental aspects of the family. However, some legal provisions can discriminate against women in court decisions because the law favors the husband or the man's part. So in our opinion, we suggest that the law be amended according to today's society to protect every gender.
After listening to the opinions of our friends, it is evident that discriminations against women continue to persist. We, Group 2, earnestly hope that these unfortunate circumstances will disappear soon.
And I will not, and the government will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. Now looking at his watch because apparently a woman's spoken too long.